And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Cheap Ludes. Look, I wasn't gonna upload today. I was just gonna chill, dude. I was gonna take a chill day. You know, I've been taking the opposite approach of everyone else for the first week of this game, where I'm just not gonna spam uploads every 5 seconds. Like, I'm not gonna stream 62 hours in a week. All right, I'm trying to enjoy myself for the beginning of this game, but it is what it is, right? The reason I wanted to upload though is because I will be honest right now, and I'm not gonna sit here and kind of inflate myself like a lot of people do and just be like, no, I'm actually really good at the game, you just suck. Like, no, dude, this game is hard. Like, okay, this game is hard. The CPU is unforgiving in this game, especially on next gen. On current gen, it's a wee bit easier, tiny bit. It's really not that different at all, honestly. You can just get to the rim a little bit easier on current gen, but the CPU is absolutely merciless, dude. Once you start getting higher up in the offline modes and the, difficulty level starts to get ratcheted up a little bit, stuff gets wild, right? So if you're like me, maybe you're playing a lot of clutch time. I personally still don't think domination is worth it, just for how long it takes. Like, it's just, unless you have unlimited time, like the people who will tell you that domination is the way to go are the same people who can afford to sit there and play the game for 60 hours in a week. Majority of people can't do that. Like, I could technically do that and I still don't want to do that. You know what I mean? So I've been playing a lot of offline clutch time. It's pretty much the only thing like that I've played consistently. Like, I've played a little triple threat, I've done some challenges and stuff, but for the most part I've just been playing clutch time, like offline, period. I've barely played any online game modes at all aside from limited, right? Now, I have 7 losses. Now, I'm gonna keep it real. 4 of them are from when the game just refuses to load and I'm just like, I don't want to sit there and wait, so I just like close app and then they just give me a loss, right? But 3 of them are legitimate losses to the CPU, and I'm not even gonna front about that, dude. The CPU is ridiculous. Sometimes you'll play against the CPU and they will just match you up with the absolute worst possible people for you to go against. So I have some tips. Now, if you're trying to finish clutch time, maybe to get that trophy, or you just like clutch time, you're just playing it a lot, there's some things that I want to go over here. Now, is there a specific set lineup that you should be using that will guarantee you wins? No, absolutely not. Like, a lot of this is going to be jump shot comfort, right? A lot of this stuff is going to be guys that you can put in the game that you'll at least green a few jumpers with, right? That's the key. I will say there's some guys that I would recommend using. Like, at the center position, I feel like Andre Drummond and Rick Smits are necessities. I would say you can get away with running reward Shaq too if you want, but Rick Smits is the guy that I would recommend. The reason being, 2K will match your overalls when they're putting together the opponent lineup that they put out, and Rick Smits is the biggest player in the entire game. And the one thing that did not change from last year, because a lot of the stuff changed last year, or from last year I should say, but the one thing that did not change is if you have a taller player out there, you will get majority of the rebounds, and Rick Smits is definitely the best rebounding card in this entire game, right? He's huge. He's got a good badge count. You can actually eat in the post with him if you're a post player as well. He's like 900 MT, and I recommend grabbing him. He's just going to make your life so much easier. If you try to run any other center, like, you're going to have issues. Drummond is really good, and he's only 6'10", but he looks a lot bigger than that, and he can straight up bully in the paint. So he's somebody you could get away with running if you have him. You might want to run Embiid. Embiid will definitely get boards, and he can stretch the floor a little bit, but he's not great. Jalen Duran, I don't know what's up with this dude, but like, he refuses to get rebounds. And anytime you put him out there, 2K is just going to do one of these at you, and they're going to throw Kristaps or like Sapphire, Rick Smits, or like, anyone else, Shaq, just someone way bigger. Bill Cartwright is big enough, but he's just the slowest human being of all time. Like, straight up, he's awful. Gold Kevin Willis can actually get boards too, and like, sometimes the CPU will throw Gold Kevin Willis out there and he'll just dominate you on the boards, right? Mark Williams is another guy they love to throw out there to just like spite you in some capacity, but Rick Smits, I would say, no matter what the rest of your team's looking like, just having Rick Smits is going to make your life like significantly easier, I promise. Paolo is really good. If you have Paolo, like, you could definitely get away with running Paolo, but as far as the power forward, like, I would just grab someone that you're going to be able to attack the rim with, and someone that will definitely be able to help you in some capacity. Like, running someone like Kiki Vanderwee is not going to do it for you. As much as I enjoy doing that, like, he's just not going to be able to grab boards, right? Xavier McDaniel, if you have him from the pre-order, he's really good as well. Like, he can definitely step out there and he can grab a bunch of boards for you and play some solid defense. He can also attack the rim. I would say 90% of the time, if you put him out there, though, they're just going to use this card as well. So you're going to have absolutely no advantage because 2K loves doing that. If you put a card in your lineup, I would say probably 7 out of 10 times they'll just put that exact same card out there to counter you. Trust me, if you're trying to use Jeremy Sochan, I swear to God, you'll run into Jeremy Sochan like probably 80% of the time. They love doing that. They love to put Rodman in here too, by the way. He's a good rebounder as well. Evan Mobley's actually pretty good too, and he'll go along with if he needs the next guy, right? As far as the small forward, whoever you're running at small forward, I just recommend it being someone that you can either attack the rim with consistently or someone that you can make jump shots with. That's the key. I was trying to run Sochan at the small forward to get steals for a while, and I cannot green this man's jump shot to save my life. So he was just a net negative out there on offense pretty much all the time. He's like slow, sluggish. He's not attacking the rim. He basically brought nothing to my team. So I would recommend using someone that you can green with consistently, whether that be Kiki Vanderwee. Kawhi Leonard is always really good. If you got the tokens, go grab him. His jump shot's easy to time. He plays elite level defense. I have Karolinko out there trying to get some XP done with him, but he's also just like super overpowered. He's not going to be able to create his own shot, but at the same time, he'll hit wide open jump shots. He's got one of the best screen windows in the game, but it is a little bit slow for sure. Jimmy Butler's always good too. He's not really going to be cracking shots, but at the same time, you can rim run with him all day. As far as the shooting guard, you want someone that you can shoot and attack the rim with. Just someone who's like a dual threat. If you're looking to lower the person you're playing against, I promise Lonzo Ball is actually really good. A lot of people will tell you to get Buddy Hield, but Lonzo can play defense. He can attack the rim, and he's got a pretty easy to time jump shot, which I actually like a lot, and a good three-point rating, right? Trying to get some challenges done. Donovan Mitchell's not bad either. Like, he's not really going to play defense, but he can attack the rim. He can shoot. His jump shot's very manageable, so he's someone you want to run as well. Starter Devin Booker is my personal favorite person to run because I can green his jump shot really easily, for the most part, you know, within reason, obviously. And he attacks the rim, and he's got big player build. At point guard, now the point guard is the most important position. It's not even particularly close. Like, you need someone who you can green with. You need someone who you can move with. You need someone who is going to at least be able to get to the rim if they need to, right? Guys that I would recommend using, I love Darius Garland. I really do, but he's not the greatest at getting to the rim, I will be honest. Though if you do run him with the Evan Mobley duo, he gets way better. John Morant is obviously someone who's very good, and you can blow by the CPU easily and just dunk every time. Trae Young's good, but his jump shot is really inconsistent for me. I'll admit that I'm trash. You know what I mean? I'm coming in with these videos from a perspective of, like, I'm a casual player. I play the game a lot, but, like, skill level, I'm very casual at this game, right? Majority of the people watching this, you could probably beat me in this game. It's not really crazy to think that you might beat me by, like, a good margin, dude. Like, I play this game for fun, right? You know what I mean? So Garland's somebody I like a lot. Trae Young's okay. BJ Armstrong, I just like, it's very hit or miss. I swear, it's like every other game I can time his jump shot. So I personally go with Damian Lillard. The reason I go with Dame, if you're not hitting the jump shot, then he can attack the rim with the best of them in this game. Like, he attacks the rim about as well as, like, John Morant does, but he brings you another level of shooting. Also, he has one of the most important badges in this game right now at gold, and that is volume shooter, right? Volume shooter, look, it's been years where I've been saying volume shooter is, like, one of the most important badges in the game, in the early game, and nobody listens to me, dude. It's so annoying, right? Either way, so good. But he does have, like, silver limitless and stuff as well. He's got a good badge count in general. But now, this game will get you frustrated. I promise, because the CPU is just so ridiculous, right? For offensive settings, I don't really do all that much. I just go into my Hawks freelance, and then I do my 5-out series. Like, that's it. Honestly, another series that I actually like when it actually works, because it's like very hit or miss if the series actually works, is like Warriors Fist. I don't know what's up with that one, but I like that one. If you're somebody who plays a lot of ISO, like Melo series is actually really good as well. I haven't gotten a chance to really mess with a lot of these series yet, and the ones that I have used, I haven't really seen a massive difference between them, if I'm being honest. But 5-out is usually the one people are just going to run because it's easy to get to. Right? That's it. Another thing that I do that I've found has made my life just a little bit easier, and it sounds stupid. If you're someone who calls their own plays, like, you're not going to have an issue with this, so it's not going to be like an issue regardless, but if you're consistently struggling scoring on the CPU and like plays are just something that you're just not really great with, like calling them yourself, honestly, just leaving your plays on auto, like for the CPU to call, is not a bad idea because it'll at least get things moving. Now, as far as the meter, like, I don't know. I've been kind of iffy on it. Judging by the game, sometimes I'll play without the meter, sometimes I'll play with it, which is probably like a bad idea regardless, but I don't know. Shooting being as inconsistent as it is this year, for me anyway, you know, it's how I'm feeling. Sometimes I'm like cracking with the meter on, sometimes I'm cracking with the meter off. It's just like this morning, I don't know what it is, but the meter off has been, or meter on has been where it's at for me. So as you can see, like, am I the greatest at this game? No. It's just all about being able to green jump shots. And if you can't green jump shots, you need guys out there that are going to be able to attack the rim. That's just the simple fact of the matter, which I have a good mixture of that. I have some good post scoring in Rick Smits. I have a couple guys who can straight up attack the rim with Paolo and Dame, but they can also shoot. Paolo, I'm not the most clean with, I'll be honest. Some people are really good with Paolo. That is not your boy, dude. Bailout, not a thing. If you try to play like the end of 2K22, like, you're gonna have a bad time. Like, if you're trying to do bailout stuff, if you're trying to do like hyper flashy plays, like, you're gonna have a bad time straight up. Like, you know what I mean? If you're trying to pizza when you should french fry, it's not gonna work out, dude. But it's all about getting someone who you can attack the rim with too at point guard, because it just opens your offense up so much. So as much as I like Trae Young and Darius Garland, and they are fun to use, I just feel like someone like Dame or Ja Morant is more conducive for success for people who aren't incredibly good at the game. Now, I'll be honest, somehow Trae Young got that over Rick Smits, whatever. The CPU is merciless, dude. If you leave the CPU open and their shooters have even just like above a 75, they will make it 99% of the time. They will perfect jump shots like crazy. Free throws are wildly inconsistent for me, dude. I'll be honest. Like, I'm terrible at free throws. I think it's because I really need to like pay attention and lock in. And I haven't had to pay attention and lock in for free throws since probably like 2K5. No, even earlier when they had that little like, it was almost like you were kicking a field goal in Madden. That's probably the last time I've had to consistently lock in for free throws. Honestly, dude. And that was a pretty terrible system, I'll be honest. I get it, Paolo. Rudy Gay, by the way, is probably one of the most annoying CPU players in the game because he's got these huge-ass Slenderman arms. And even though he's got like a 67 three-pointer, he'll just stroke it all the time. Like, for no reason. If you leave him wide open from pretty much anywhere, you know, within the 4-point line, he'll probably crack it. Somehow Trae Young is able to get these layups over coverage pretty much on a near constant basis. And look, I have no shame, dude. I'd be losing to the CPU on All-Star. Like, I have no shame when it comes to this. Like, the CPU be doing me dirty sometimes. Like, and if you're not greening consistently on these higher difficulties, like, it's going to get tough, dude. It's going to get tough really fast. As you can see, I'm not very good at this game. Like, I'm not. I've still managed to get up this high through pure will. You know, 10% will, or wait, 10% luck, 20% skill. I don't know, dude. I can't remember the Fort Minor song. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Shout out to Fort Minor out there, dude. I just remember that was the highlight tape for like everyone's middle school football thing on YouTube for a while back in like 06. I remember I would go on people's MySpace profiles, dude, back in the day, and it'd be like the football people. I would go to say what's up, and then like as soon as I pop on, I'd be greeted with like a Fort Minor highlight video from like Tom Brady or something. Like, this man throwing 5-yard dink and dunks like to Fort Minor. It's not exactly what I'm trying to see in the morning. Reggie Bush was a big one too. I see a bunch of like Reggie Bush college highlights, dude. I swear to God. Set to Fort Minor, dude. Or down with the sickness. Sometimes you just be shooting bad shots. Like me, I shoot bad shots all the time. And the CPU will out-rebound you mercilessly. It doesn't matter who you have out there. I would say 90% of the games, you'll go and look, and you'll be out-rebounded. It's not even like close. Like, it'll happen more often than you'd want it to happen. It doesn't matter who they have either. Like, you know what I mean? They will out rebound you, and it sucks, dude. It sucks so bad. By the way, good luck getting an offensive board. Offensive boards just like don't happen. The CPU, they'll happen all day. Like, they'll get offensive boards for sure all the time. This is why Dame is so important. Like, I'm struggling shooting right now. I cannot green right now. I cannot get open shots right now. I'm playing like absolute dog shit, dude. It's bad, right? But Dame can still get to the rim and, you know, do what needs to be done. Somehow, I'm telling you, dude, the CPU is ridiculous. You could sit here and just play the best defense in the world. It doesn't matter. They will make the fucking shots, dude. And that's very frustrating. There we go. Oh my God, Andre Karolinko's release is so slow, dude. It really is. Got a huge green window, but once you get the timing down, you're good. It's probably easier to play with meter off, realistically. See, he's going to crack this. I just know it. Oh my God, he actually missed it. Doesn't matter. Still didn't get the rebound, though, for some reason. Like, I'm not going to get it here. He's going to get it over. Oh my God, Paolo. Thank you, Jesus. As you can see, I'm struggling mightily, dude. I really am. That's got to be a green, right? Thank you. Thank you. But all I need is just a couple guys that I could hit shots with. That's it. And it's all good. Also, just another pro tip, the CPU does not recognize that you're playing clutch time. So if you have your automatic fouls turned off at the end of the game, and let's say you're tied, or even down, let's say you're down 2 and there's like 22 seconds left, it's going to think that there's a real shot clock, so it's going to do an automatic foul, even though they're not. And it's so frustrating. Like, it's beyond frustrating. It will happen too. You'll be down 2 and you're like, all right, I just got to get a stop real quick and then I can score. Oh my God. Getting the free throw timing down, I mean, I cannot be the only person that's struggling with free throws. I can't, dude. It's just so frustrating. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we've been babied for the last couple years with 2K. Like, you know, the last couple years you haven't had to think about free throws. Pretty much White's went in on like an 80% clip. So it's like, this game is a whole different beast. And look, we got the win, dude. And we played horribly. And I've just been rambling the entire time. My point is, although it may be difficult, you can do it. Also, I would just like to say, 2K, like, why do you guys always insist on making the offline grinds, like, so insanely difficult for, like, no reason, dude? Okay? Like, sorry, I was looking for my cat, making sure she was back there chilling. Also, this is this wheel, dude. All right, it's been like 600 wins, and I have yet to get any of the players from the actual wheel. Like, it's never going to happen because it'll just randomly decide. It'll be like trucking momentum, and then it'll just stop right before the player. And I think it's more frustrating this year than it was last year. The reason I say that is because this year it seems to get you close, you know, like a pretty decent amount of time. Like, every time you spin it, you'll be like kind of by those guys, and you'll still never get them. Or when it like it's going to stop on it, but then it just like peters out a little bit right at the end. Oh man, so frustrating. But anyways, 2K, look, I like the shooting. I do. I think it's cool. Once I start to get used to it, I'll like it a lot more. Obviously, like, I'm not very good with it right now. I'm used to just shooting 80% from White, obviously, like everybody else in this game. Once I start to get the hang of it on the harder difficulties, I think I'll like it a lot more. And that's cool. I'm cool with that. You can keep it on the online modes. Like, you don't have to change anything, but God, dude, please just keep online versus the sliders the way they are, but just increase the green window or do something in these offline modes. Because think about it from like a casual player perspective. Like, right, you're just someone who has like a few hours a week to play 2K, right? Maybe like 10. Let's just say 10 at the absolute most, right? You know, you get off work, you play for an hour or two, and then you stop. You know what I mean? A couple days a week. Having to come on here and just playing offline for fun, and then just having the CPU make every shot, and you can't make a single shot right consistently, it's a frustrating experience. And this is a game that I play for like a job, technically. You know what I mean? So imagine I don't play this for a job. I would just stop playing this game. Honestly, like, if I'm trying to get clutch time done, dude, and I'm at this point where like things are this frustrating, like I'm losing games consistently due to CPU and clutch time, I would just stop playing and go play something else. So realistically, I think it just the offline game modes, like, you need to kind of dial it back just a little bit. Like, I'm not saying Whites need to go in consistently, but at least increase the green window just on offline play. Just do something to make offline just a little bit easier. Honestly, you can keep offense the way it is, but just like ratchet down the CPU just a little bit. Turn the CPU sliders down just a little bit, because they're kind of overpowered sometimes. Like, they kind of go super hard, right? That's all I'm asking for. But realistically, the tips, I would say Rick Smits is almost an absolute necessity if you're going to play this, because like no matter what, 2K will try to like fuck you in some capacity, and they'll try to put in like a bigger center that's going to get more rebounds. So you can kind of negate that by just using Rick Smits, because there's no one bigger than him in the game, right? He'll grab rebounds. Like, they might hit you with another Rick Smits, but at least like you'll have someone out there that's the same size, right? Hyper athletic 3 or 4. necessary to get to the rim. Like, I like Paolo a lot. He's kind of expensive though. I mean, there's other guys you could definitely use that'll do the same thing for the most part. Like Rudy's another really good one. He can get to the rim very easily with decent badge count. Couple guys that you can shoot with. Like, I wasn't really showing it with Andre Karolinko, but this morning I was wet with him, so I'm using him. Devin Booker under normal circumstances I'm pretty good with. And then a point guard you trust. That's it. Simple as that. Just a point guard you trust. Whether that's Terry Rozier, Darius Garland, even like John Morant or Trey, or Damian Lillard, or Steph even, if you want to go that route. Obviously, yeah, Steph, you'll be fine, right? Just somebody that you trust. If you have any specific questions about clutch time, or you want any specific like tips, I guess, or you just want to ask some questions, dude, hop in the comments. Please just jump in there and I will try my best to answer them. Am I going to be the wealth or fountain of knowledge that you need to really get through these? Maybe not, but I'll do my best, dude. I am very responsive. So drop a like on this video and I'll be back with more content later, guys. Peace.